What the hell was that? Hey, how you doing, guys? Happy Homebrew Wednesday, Thursday, whatever you want to call it. Can't seem to get this thing. You know, it's like a jet lag. You know, it's like, you know, I do it on Thursday, and then the next week Wednesday comes around. It's like, oh, it's too early. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to, you know, what to say or what to talk about. But so, anyway, we'll get it figured out. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Here we are, and that was me brewing up a Cooper's English Bitter. Just a simple 5 and 7 way that I do those. And the reason why somebody would do something like that is because we talked about it last week, and some people commented in the comments section. I saw the comments. The price of beer somewhere, places in the world, is outrageous. I mean, I think I have it bad. Some people have, you know, twice the price or 3 times the price of the price that I pay for it. And so, you know, if you like to drink beer, don't mind the labels on this glass. If you like to drink beer and you pay high prices for beer, then it's handy to know an easy way to make it yourself. It's pretty simple. I think that everything I've said over the years, all these excuses and explanations about why people brew beer and why would you do a beer kit, as opposed to an all grain or, you know, anything else. And I think that really, in the nutshell, just says it all. You know, when you pay high prices for beer, it's good to know how to make it the easy way. I retire. That's it. This is my last video. I'm done. I've said it, and that sums it all up. No, I'm just joking. It's not my last video. Are you kidding me? I love this. This is awesome. I will never stop YouTube. But that's the bottom line, guys. Is that, you know, it's a good thing to know how to do. If you live somewhere where you get cheap beer and you can buy it cheaply, don't even bother with this. God, you know, I mean, you know, unless you want to learn how to ferment, then it's a good idea to get started with home brewing. But eventually you'll move on and you'll get, you know, other things going on. But for me and for others around the world, this is saving me a lot of money. Okay? So that's why the easy way. It's a good thing to know how to do for us guys. It's not for everybody. But this beer here it's actually very murky. I can see through it sort of, but it's a little bit murky. It's got a lot of yeast. Sorry, not yeast. Hop residue. This is the one that I added the hops to a couple weeks ago, and I forget what the hell I threw the label out, but somebody in the comments said that they weren't the best hops to do this with, and they're probably right, because I'm not all that happy with the hop profile in this beer. It's a Cooper's IPA. It's okay. It's all right. I'm enjoying it. It's fine. It's not my favorite. Because of the hops that I added. They weren't really made for flavor and aroma. So, but, you know, I made a mistake. And it's still beer, and it still tastes okay. So you screw up once in a while, and you still get it. If you can, you know, if you've got a very opened palate like I do, you can still drink it. It's fine. Look at the, you know, lacing and everything else. It's beautiful beer. Just the hop profile isn't what I wanted, that's all. So, and it's cold. It's only 64 degrees down here in the dungeon at the moment, Fahrenheit, which is why I'm probably going to put a heat belt on the brew that I just made. Right, I've got a few of these laying around. So that's what I'm going to do, because I used the Cooper's yeast, and you saw that, and some people might have thought, why is he using that when he's got all that great yeast in the fridge, you know, which I do. But I want this has to be like ready soon. Okay? What I've noticed is that the Cooper's yeast is fast. It's faster than any yeast I've ever used. So if you're putting down a batch just to get, you know, a pipeline thing happening, you need some beer for the weekend, or, you know, or not a while. I mean, still takes a week, but you know what I mean. Then just, you know, you're using the yeast that comes with it, the Cooper stuff. If you've got a little more time, maybe 10 days, 2 weeks, then that's when you get out your arsenal of some very, very kind viewers out there, I'll tell you. And you should see the hops I've got up in the freezer upstairs. Whew! I got to do some stuff. Got to do some brewing. But there's some. That's the reason why there's some very serious brewing coming up, because I've got these things and I need to use up. I don't want them to go to waste. So hey, why not? Now I'm not going to use for those of you who've been following, the Homebrew Wednesdays, you've heard me talking about the 2-row grains that I've got sitting that I'm sorry, I'm not 5 sheets to the wind, but I'm a little bit just a little bit tipsy because I did that and I had a glass of wine going, and this has been sitting here a while, and but when I started that video, I didn't want to drink wine. I wanted to have a beer. So we're sort of double-fisted, as you saw. So there you have it. But that's just, I'm going to put that glass of wine aside for a while and drink that later. I'm not going to use those 2-row grains for an all-grain batch because they're old. And although, thank you guys, by the way, for, commenting on that, downstairs in the comment section about, how you've experienced old grains and they still work, and they might be a little less efficient and whatnot. So I read all the comments, I do, and thank you for that, because I've not ever kept 2-row grains for that long, and these things have to do something. It's not like you've got your Crystal 60 or your chocolate malt or whatever. These things, they're not crushed. They do give off their flavors, and they will die off over time. But when you use them, you can always put a little bit extra in if you're worried about that, and it's fine. It's going to be fine. But with the 2-row, if you do an entire batch of beer with 2-row grains, with doing the mash and everything, and those grains are not up to par, you're going to end up with it could be a disaster. Right? You could end up with like half of the alcohol percentage or something, So that's why, with those, I'm going to do mini mashes. That's what I'm going to do. That way, I still have the liquid malt extract, that I have. So this is the Maris. I do that every week. Is there something? There's got to be a mental issue there. A Maris Otter liquid malt extract there we talked about last week, and I still got that. I've got it out of the fridge because I'm going to brew that up real quick in a couple days or so. And so at least I have most of my fermentables intact. And if the 2-rows aren't 2-rows, if the 2-row grains aren't quite up to par, it'll still be fine. But to do an entire beer with those 2-rows, I don't think so. But back to what I was saying, it's a great thing to do if you pay high prices for beer, which most countries do. I mean, a lot of. I'm learning now that Norway and the UK and Australia and of course Canada and other countries are paying these ridiculous prices for beer. And you guys down in the States, you're like, yeah, $6 for a 2-4, for 24 beers. Beep off. You know what I mean? So, you don't have to do this. You just buy the beer. It tastes, the same, or, well, this tastes better, but anyway, still. But anyways, that's why we do it, because we can, and because it saves us money. But as a home brewer and as a hobbyist, I am going to be doing some more, I've got all those hops in there and all those yeasts in there and the grains in here, and I've got all kinds of specialty grains down here under my laundry sink where it's right nice and cool, so they're nice and fresh, hopefully. And there's been some really interesting recipes. Last week when I mentioned, that I've got this Maris Otter malt extract, some of you gave me some ideas about, how to brew that up. Thank you. I'm going to look at those. I'm going to do a little beersmith thing. I'm going to put some things in there based on your ideas and make a beer. tgtshirts.com. In my live broadcast this week, I may do one. I said I was going to take 2 weeks, a break for 2 weeks. And I may still do that, but you never know. I might get up and do a broadcast on Friday night. So keep in touch with my website, craigfaraway.com, and find out what I'm doing or what I'm not doing. That's where I do my updates, right there on that site. Once a week, I put a little blurb up there that tells you what's going on with that kind of stuff. And with that, I'm going to let you go. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers, 17, all the rest. And have a good week. Have a good weekend as well. Hey, how are you guys doing with your sauerkraut? Some of you guys have been making it. Let me know down below how it's turned out or how it's going. And that I'm going to be doing a pickle video as well. So same idea, but sort of a little different, but same thing. Fermented pickles, fermented cucumbers. Love them. So let me know how you're doing with that down in the comments. Post a comment down below. Anything you want to say, even if you want to say cheers, just do it. It's all good, and I love to read your comments. 17 guys, thanks for watching. Take care and be safe. Cheers out.